Hello, listeners, and welcome to Youth Ventures podcast, PDX Business Spotlight. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of PDX Business Spotlight. Today, we are delighted to welcome Sarah, who is the CEO and founder of Ishq Skincare. So, Sarah, could you please go ahead and give an overview of who you are, what your business is about, and how you got started?
Of course, Gauri. Thank you so much for having me on, for you to highlight small businesses, especially local small businesses owned by BIPOC folks. That is very much appreciated. So thank you for doing that.
No problem.
My name is Sarah Zareen. Yes, my name is Sarah Zareen. I'm the founder and CEO of Ishq Skincare, which is a healing line of ethical organic skincare handcrafted with ingredients sustainably sourced from local Oregon farms and companies that practice fair trade policies. Ishq in Urdu means a love, and the mission of Ishq Skincare is to make organic skincare simple, sustainable, and accessible for everyone while supporting social and racial justice causes locally and globally. So I come from a long line of healers in southern India. So I have been surrounded by my mothers making poultices, healing poultices for the skin, for the hair, since I was born. It was something that I just took for granted. My cousins and I have been making face masks, just things from the garden. Like I remember my 18th birthday, when I wanted like a quick glow from my skin, my aunt, took me by the hand to my grandma's front yard, and she plucked a fresh red hibiscus and smushed it between her fingers and just in her hands and just patted it on my face. Wow. So it was just harnessing the power of nature, of plants, honoring them to bring about sustainable healing for the skin and for the soul. So when I started in my somewhere in the 2000s, when I started being conscious of our impact on the world, on the environment, and I wanted to lead a more sustainable life, I became conscious of what I was putting into my body, what I was putting on my body. Where are the clothes coming from? Where is my food coming from? Is that a fair trade growth? Are people being paid a fair living wage? So I just started becoming conscious of all of that. And I started making my own skincare, my own organic moisturizing creams, because I have sensitive skin. I had dry skin. And the skin being the largest organ where we absorb a lot of toxins from the environment, from the products that we use. And I wanted to avoid all of that on my journey of living a more healthy, conscious, intentional life. And back then in California, organic skincare was very expensive. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. So I researched, looked up, recipes, tweaked the recipes to kind of suit my skin. And I came up with this formula of organic moisturizing creams that I absolutely loved. I was like, where has this been my entire life? And my family, one of our values is that we always share the good that comes our way. So it was a very natural thing for me to share the organic moisturizing creams. This wasn't Ishq back then. It was just something that I was starting. I shared it with every single person that I know who was open to receive it. And they loved it. Their skin improved. And it's just one thing led to the other. And it was something that just came very naturally to me. And in hindsight, this is all just memories that I had, knowledge, ancient knowledge that was just passed down to me by my ancestors that came forth in this way. So organic moisturizing creams, and I made scrubs, and I made masks. And then when I moved to Portland in 2018, so Ishq was launched as an LLC May 2nd, 2018, one day after my birthday.
Wow.
I know. And it was, I was toying with, having my own business for many years before this. But when I moved to Portland, this was a call that I just couldn't ignore. It was just a pulsating energy within me. And this was more than, I want to make my own money sort of stuff. It was more about sharing my family's healing, sharing my family's culture, our values with the entire world. So that's basically what launched Ishq. And the name Ishq came to me while I was in prayer. And the formulation of Ishq, the name, the company, it took me 6 to 8 months for that to happen because I was taking my time and I knew that I wanted my company to be different. I wanted every single step that I take in Ishq Skincare to give back to the community locally and globally. I knew I wanted to support causes. So every single aspect of Ishq does that. From the labels, which were originally designed by New Avenues Inc. And the actress youth who designed Ishq labels initially graduated from New Avenues Inc., which is a graphic designing arm of New Avenues for Youth in Portland. And then so she graduated from the program, but since she already knows my design, I basically have just kept her on as my graphic designer. So my labels are designed by homeless at-risk youth. The glass jars are reusable, recyclable. They're from a Portland-based company as well. The product bags that Ishq comes in are handcrafted by women in a slum in Bangalore, India.
Wow.
So ending youth homelessness, supporting women emancipation locally and globally, putting our money back into the local economy, that is something that is very, very, it's an integral part of Ishq. Our raw ingredients are grown by Portland farmers. And my goal is by 2025 to have every single dry ingredient in Ishq products come from Portland soil, grown by Portland farmers.
Wow, Sarah, I really love how even though you're running a business, you're really making sure that every element of it is perfect. And I love how you're making sure that you're giving back to the community, getting graphic designers that were homeless youth and getting like the Islamic woman from India, getting them to sew your product packaging. It's like every element has been really incredibly thought out. And I really love how you're continuing to give back to the community as well.
Thank you, Gauri. Because for the way that I have been brought up, my family, we believe in healing as a community. It is not just individual healing. It doesn't make sense to us that we are living a good life while our neighbor is suffering. That is something that is not acceptable. And also, like, if you look at the global economy, you look at like every single person, we're all connected. More so now than before. What's happening in, say, Palestine affects us in the United States. What happens in India affects us here. We are a global community. So healing as a global community, healing as a continuation, that makes just more sense to me. It doesn't, and also my family, these are the values that I incorporate into Ishq. If it doesn't matter if you're wearing the most expensive clothes, you're purchasing the most expensive brand named skincare products or hair care products, and you're putting it on your skin and on your body, but if your food comes from an impure source, if your heart is dark, if your mind is dark, if you have all these convoluted thoughts happening in your soul, it's going to show. It doesn't make a difference. We need to concentrate. The healing actually begins from inside out. It's all connected. We can't heal individually. It has to be in a community. And so that is a huge part of Ishq. So even like for me as a business owner, as a woman owned, as a BIPOC-owned, I don't see other small businesses, especially skincare businesses, as my competition, where we are a community. If you look at my social media, I'm constantly promoting fellow skincare brands. I use their products as well, and I will continue to promote them because that's just the way we move forward. This whole aspect of, the other person is your competition. You have to be one up on them. That is a colonized mindset. That is something that we, especially as BIPOC individuals, have to constantly kind of battle against because it's ingrained. Maybe more so for my generation than maybe yours, but it is something that has seeped into our daily life that we have to start to be conscious about because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. There's room for everybody. You giving business to, say, Rose Alchemista is not going to take away my business. All of that is a part of Ishq Skincare. And all of that shows in the healing that Ishq products bring. The biggest feedback that I get from clients of Ishq Skincare is that it makes them feel good. And I believe that is because You know, every single product that I make, it is made intentionally by me. I handcraft every single product. The organic moisturizing creams, the organic scrubs, organic masks, organic beard oils, organic hair oils, every single step. And it is completely transparent. I don't hide the ingredients. You will see it on my social media that everything is out there. It's there on my website. I don't add other quote unquote other natural ingredients in my products. It's all completely out there. So when I make the Ishq products, it's made in an environment that is just buzzing with positive energy. I don't make my products when I'm not feeling good, either emotionally or mentally. It has to be a positive experience for every single step. And when I handcraft Ishq products, I put in good thoughts for your health, safety, and happiness. So it is like a full circle that comes about when you use an Ishq product. It's non-toxic. I don't use any stabilizers in them. I don't use any preservatives or preservation of Ishq products. And some of them, like, for example, the organic masks don't expire. Every single aspect is completely non-toxic. It is positive. It is sustainable, with every aspect giving back to the community and the world.
Wow, I really love that, Sarah. And you might have already answered this or touched on it a bit briefly, but who or what inspired you to start your business?
The impetus for starting Ishq was the pain that I saw around me. Every single person that I met or every single person that I was reading about was in so much of pain. And the goal of Ishq is to bring healing. Ishq products is to bring healing, and it is a healing that comes from within. It is like, I grew up in a family that is extremely supportive. My freedom, my voice was never curtailed. As a kid, I don't remember, 6-year-old, 7 years old, I don't know. I've had arguments with adults on issues, right? Wow. And never was I told to be quiet. Never, ever was I told that. I was given the freedom to fly, and I was provided a safe net to fall back on. So that is what I want to share with Ishq. This is the energy that I want to put forward to people, to allow people to be who they are, you know, to accept people for who they are without a doubt, without a question. That is a safe space that Ishq creates. So when people approach me, whether online or in person, the Ishq experience is not rushed. It is basically what I'm trying to do with you is creating that safe environment that I grew up in. It is sharing that. So in a nutshell, it's my family, but it goes beyond my family, who is the inspiration for Ishq.
Wow. And how has being a person of color affected your business, either positively or negatively?
You know, this question, I've been thinking about it. I don't know how well I can answer that. Because when I started my business, I have found support everywhere.
Wow.
You know, but I do know other, I don't know if that is because of me being from India and of a lighter or a brighter skin color. My experience is different. But I do know of my fellow Black business owners, women-owned Black business owners, who've had a horrible time, who have had a harder time to find, say, a storefront. I have the way that I look at this is that I feel I have a better understanding of the Eastern and the Western cultures. You know, I understand the healing that both bring. I understand the harm that both bring, and it is a learning experience for me. Honestly, how to answer that question, because I've been thinking about this. I recognize the privilege that I have as a person born as an Indian-born immigrant versus, you know, an African-American. I understand my privilege, and I try my best to utilize my privilege in service of others. Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that you weren't faced with a lot of negative opposition, because I do know I interviewed a lot of other BIPOC-owned businesses, and a couple of them did face a lot of negativity, and I'm super glad that you didn't have to face any of that.
Thank you. And also, I know, like, for the other BIPOC-owned businesses, for them, they have, like, they wanted to open, like, say, a storefront. You know, they want to, like, have a physical space. You know, and I can't imagine the struggles that they've had to go through with that, because those are the stories that I've heard. Those are the realities that I know of, you know, but I haven't done that yet.
And Sarah, I know you mentioned that you opened up in 2018, so that was before the pandemic. And I know the pandemic has affected so many businesses with positivity and also negativity. Often it has even caused them to close their doors, but it's also opened up a window of opportunities for many. So, how has the pandemic affected your business? Has it had upsides or downsides?
I will start with the upsides. The upside is that the pandemic literally forced me to get business coaching, which is one of my advice for people, especially BIPOC individuals, when they start their businesses, is to work with a business coach, a mindset coach, a business coach. So the pandemic basically forced me to do that because I knew that the way I was operating Ishq was not a sustainable model. And I wanted to move Ishq into a more sustainable model, just not for myself, but for others as well. So I got business coaching. The downtime that I had during the pandemic encouraged me to explore ways in which I can make Ishq more accessible for people. So like the Ishq seasonal subscription service, making Ishq products, some of the Ishq products seasonal to honor the seasonal changes that happen into our skin, and marrying that with the seasonal changes, the seasonal availability of flowers and roots in Portland. That came about during the pandemic, expanding into stores, wholesaling, having Ishq available, accessible to people in different stores. That came about during the pandemic as well. And basically, the pandemic forced me to reevaluate my mindset. You know, the questions that came about is like, why do I not want to raise my prices when you know it is worth much more? You know, so money issues, mindset issues, the concept of, you know, the false notion of us as human beings having control over situations. Those were all the issues that I dealt with. I still am, I still have those issues, but it's a learning experience. The downside, definitely the sales. And the pandemic also helped me recognize people better. You know, helped me recognize and acknowledge the pain that everybody is going through better. You know, helped me understand capitalism better, because my mindset was the first say month or two of the pandemic, I'm like, who would want to buy skincare when everybody's going through so much of trouble? But at the same time, I was still getting texts and emails from Joanne. I was still getting texts from Macy's. They were texting me wanting my money. They were sending me emails. Nobody was backing down. And I was like, why should I? It is understanding that is the understanding of the money is there. People are spending. It's just the understanding of what they want to spend on. I learned to, at the bottom line, I learned to value my brand, my time, and in the end, myself better during the pandemic. And the downside definitely would be the sales. You know, it's definitely and more for me. It was very painful to watch my fellow small businesses go through that. And I tried my best to help them by highlighting their businesses on Ishq social media, encouraging people to purchase from them, especially Native-owned businesses, African American-owned businesses, people of color-owned businesses, trying to highlight that as much as possible.
Well, I really love how even despite the setback and like kind of the negativity about the downside of reducing sales, you were still able to like get into the right mindset and get business coaching and still be successful and bring it back and really learn to value your business more. And I also love how despite the whole like negativity going around, you're still able to highlight your fellow businesses and support them as well.
Yes, because I'm of the opinion that, what I saw a lot, what I have been seeing, because I was a volunteer for 14 years with Stand Up for Kids in the Silicon Valley. What I have been seeing since then is I am tired of talk. You know, people saying we should do this. Oh, you know, why this, why that? I'm done. I'm totally and completely done with that. I want to see action. However small, however big that action is, I want the words to be put into action. Otherwise, they're completely worthless. So when it comes to like during the pandemic, 2020, people were like small businesses, but people were still shopping at Amazon. And I was like, it doesn't make sense to me. If you don't have the money to buy from small businesses, then you can share the business with others. There are different ways in which you can take action. Mm-hmm. And if you're just giving me words, like, for example, during when Black Lives Matter was at its zenith, when everybody was putting up black squares, I was like, shh, please spend your money at black businesses. That makes more sense, because we are in a capitalist economy. Uh-huh. The only way we can bring about change is through money. You support your political candidates, whoever you want at a local level, through the money. You buy from local businesses. You buy from businesses that align with your values. And that's what I do as a business as well. The places where Ishq, retails are all people who align with Ishq values of valuing life, of valuing LGBTQ's right to life and liberty, valuing reparations for Native people, valuing the existence of Native population, not just locally, but globally as well. It is an acceptance of people of all colors, of all race. And when I send, when people ask me about wholesale rates and they want to have Ishq as a part of their establishment, my introduction is a page of all of this, like Ishq clients and partners. This is what we stand for. It is something that I'm very, very open about, and that's the way we move forward, right, Gauri? I mean, that's the society I see.
I really love that. And Sarah, this might be a bit of a different question, but I noticed that, first of all, your business name is Ishq, which is an Urdu word, as you mentioned. But it was really interesting to me that even your product names are really beautiful Urdu words, and they have really significant and beautiful meanings. But what is the significance of naming all of your product names with Urdu words?
Well, Urdu is my culture. That's where I came from. That is something that is just embedded in my soul. So for me to have a product that is inspired by family, that is about me sharing my family's culture and healing, it doesn't make sense to me to give it a name that's outside of my culture. Mm-hmm. And Urdu, like many languages, is a language that has deeper meanings. It's not just something like, for example, if you take Ishq, yes, Ishq means love in Urdu and Turkish, in Arabic, in Persian, but the Ishq that Ishq Skincare is inspired from is not just like I love pizza, superficial kind of love. It is the love that you feel in every cell of your being. It is the love that you can feel. You can feel the energy, and generally that kind of love is with something that is divine. You call it what you want, divine energy, mother energy, God. That is the Ishq behind Ishq Skincare. So, like, for example, if you take my organic moisturizing creams, like Lutf, Junoon, and Fanam, they are inspired by the stages of love according to the Sufi tradition. The other names, I have been asked this question before, and it's just a name that just came to me. It's just something that felt right with it. Like, for example, if you take my seasonal skincare, which is the organic moisturizing cream, which is in season now, which is Tarif, which means abundant praise. And that is the organic Tulsi, which is the holy basil moisturizing cream. So Tarif and Tulsi is like, Tulsi is just one of the most wonderful herbs you can incorporate into your daily practice. Whether you take it internally, you put it on your skin, it is the kind of herb that is a wonderful adaptogen. It helps you deal better with stress. It helps your skin deal better with stress as well, automatically over time. So, and it is something that when people look at your skin, they're like, wow. And that is a praise. That's abundant praise. So those are names that just, it may sound, I don't know, woo to people, but these are names just I knew this is going to be the name for this product. So the products basically named themselves. Like, for example, if you take my Ishq Organic Hair Oil, which is Hayat, and Hayat means long life. And it is also a play on my dad's name, which is Hidayat, right? So Hayat, like for your hair, what do we want from our hair? We want our hair to be sustainable. We want our hair to, to shine and to be healthy. And all that is a part of a long life. Yeah, so it's just names like Juknu, which is the organic, quote unquote, Botox mask, which has organic hibiscus. Hibiscus is the Botox plant of the plant world. And Jugnu means firefly in Urdu. So, like, how a firefly shines bright. You know, in the dark, you can always catch it. That's how your skin gets once you use Juknu.
I really love how, honestly, each and every word and each and every product name, you can really just talk on and on for hours on it. It's like the significance and the meaning behind it is so cool and really interesting.
Thank you, Gauri. It is something that goes deeper. These are soulful names. These are not names that I just like, hey, okay, let's call it this. No, these are names that have been intentionally, very intentionally kept.
And Sarah, after looking at your website, I noticed the essential ingredients that you've mentioned in your blogs. And one question I had was, what are some essential ingredients that you use to currently create your products? And what are their like special healing benefits or properties?
So it really depends on what products you're looking at. If you're looking at the organic moisturizing creams, which at any time you will have a choice of 3. 2, like your Fana and Sukoon, are the frankincense and the sandalwood, are available throughout the year. And the third one is a seasonal offering. So if you look at the base of the organic moisturizing creams, it's exactly the same amount of butters, oils, and waters. The only difference is the different essential oils in the product. So that blend of organic waters, butters, and oils is something that, hydrates your skin sustainably for a longer period of time. And you don't need to use much. That's the beauty about Ishq products. When I say you only need a tiny bit, it is a tiny bit. You're welcome to use more, but that is not required. Just a tiny bit of the product is what you need. And that is how it's designed, is to provide you with healing, a kind of healing for your skin that goes beyond just the surface of your skin. It goes into your deeper layers. And that's where the sustainable healing comes from. If you look at, say, Hayat, right, which is a blend of 21 organic ingredients, oils, herbs, seeds, flowers, powders. And this is my family's ancient hair oil recipe, which I don't tamper with. I can't really speak to every single ingredient, but the benefit of Hayat is that it heals your scalp. It has the power of healing your scalp. And that is where your hair's health comes from, is from a healthy scalp. So treating scalp psoriasis, reducing your dandruff, your itching, all that. And I've seen clients here that found tremendous improvement with just one use of Hayat. So it's every single ingredient in that is designed by nature to stop hair fall. Like, for example, it has neem oil in it. So neem is a very strong antibacterial. So that heals the scalp. It has castor oil in it. And castor oil is also in Rais, which is the beard oil, the growth blend. So that is known to thicken hair growth, right? So those are the different ingredients, speak to different things. If you look at the Detox Mask, which all my masks, my 5 masks, they don't expire because they are in a powder form.
Wow.
And it allows you the freedom to mix in a liquid that suits your skin the best. And that has been done intentionally. So it forces you to slow down, or encourages you to slow down and be intentional in your skincare practice. So if you take the Detox Mask, which is Uns, it has ancient volcanic mud, bentonite clay from Fort Benton. Sucks the toxins from your skin in such a most beautiful way. And I've added organic roses, powdered roses that are grown on Portland soil, Sweet Delilah Farm, and also from my backyard into it, which adds that little bit of softness to the detoxing. So it really depends on which product. When it comes to like choosing an Ishq product, what I tell clients is, especially at markets when they come to the Ishq booth, and this is part of the Ishq experience, I don't force products on them. When they come to me and they're like, which product do you recommend? Which organic moisturizing cream do you recommend? The first question I ask them is, which is speaking to you the most? What is attracting you the most? Because when you choose a product that you connect with, you will end up using that product more. And the energy, my hard work, my feeling, my soul work that has gone into the product comes to fruition. It's like a full circle that happens. And I encourage people to choose products. Any product that you buy, anytime, anywhere, stop and think. Don't just mindlessly purchase anything. Where is the money going? Do you really need it? Why do you need it? So that helps in reducing consumerism, or helping you being a more active, socially conscious consumer.
Wow.
So that is something that I encourage with Ishq. So to answer your question, Gauri, I know, you asked specifically about different products. It depends on which product you're talking about, and I can talk more about that ingredient. But every single product is handcrafted with the intention of providing you healing. And over the years, I have been making Ishq products for close to 8 years now? Close to. They have brought healing to people. They have made people feel good about themselves, about the product that they're using.
Wow, Sarah, I really love how each and every ingredient that you put in each and every one of your products is so well thought out, and you've really done your research to make sure that the healing and the benefits really show through from your product.
Thank you. I cannot not do that because that's what my family has been doing for generations. So this is an extension of what my family is doing, and it's an honor.
And Sarah, how can people support your business?
The way in which people can support Ishq is buying Ishq products, not just for themselves, but sharing Ishq products with people whom they love or not love, I don't know. And it is the holiday season, so doing that during the holiday season is very much appreciated. So we have organic moisturizing creams, we have masks, our hair oils. Murad and Hayat are super popular, and we also have fair trade gifts, like for example the Ishq Mask gift box, which is a fair trade coming together of 5 artists and makers from around the world. So trans women artists who hand painted the boxes. We have traditional toy makers from Chenpatna in India. We have flower farms, a flower farmer in Portland. We have the women sewists from a slum in Bangalore, India, and the Ishq products. So it really depends on what is speaking to them the most, but definitely gifting Ishq, sharing Ishq on social media, recommending Ishq to stores that they carry Ishq products. That's another way in which you can support Ishq Skincare.
Wow. So listeners, please do consider going to our podcast description box, and there you can find Ishq Skincare's social media links and their website. So please consider liking on their posts, commenting, and supporting them in any way, and also buying their products. And Sarah, are there any special projects or anything else you would like to plug?
So we at Ishq Skincare, we want to be more conscious about our skincare use. So we have started the Ishq Seasonal Subscription Service. So the Ishq Seasonal Subscription Service is a sustainable way in which we can use skincare our skin needs that season. So every 3 months, you sign up just once for the Ishq Seasonal Subscription Service, and every 3 months, skincare products your skin needs that season are delivered right through to your door.
Wow.
And so when I talked about earlier about the organic moisturizing creams, one being seasonal is basically just that. So every 3 months, our seasonal offering changes to honor the rotation of the earth, to honor the seasonal changes that happen in nature. Like when it makes sense, we keep hearing about, you should eat fruits and vegetables that are grown seasonally. Why not use that for our skin as well? Because our skin changes, and we can't have the same skincare practice all throughout the year. We need to alter, we need to change. Or allow Mother Nature to guide our skincare practices. So that is what we do at Ishq Skincare. So it's the Ishq Seasonal Subscription Service. And I have a special service where, especially for the holidays, as a gift. So it's the Ishq Seasonal Subscription Gift, where you pay for the entire month beforehand, and you choose who you want that to go to. And every 3 months, automatically, they will get seasonal skincare that their skin needs delivered right to their door. And it's free shipping. They get free gifts as well. So that is something that we have an offering right now.
Thank you. So to our listeners, if you are looking to gift one of your loved ones some skincare or special gifts, definitely go check out the seasonal gift that Sarah is offering. And the link, once again, will be in the podcast description box. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us on this episode of our podcast. Is there anything that you wanted to add?
Especially to young BIPOC entrepreneurs, speak truth to power. Don't be afraid of speaking the truth. Be unique, be different, even if that is scary, because that is what is going to set you apart from everybody else. Be different.
Thank you so much for that, Sarah.
Keep powering on, Gauri. I mean, what you are doing, you and your fellow workers are doing, is something that is absolutely amazing. challenge the status quo. Future change is you. And it is up to you guys how you want the world to be. My only hope and prayer is that we as in my generation doesn't mess it up too much for you guys. I know Ishq and other small businesses and other people are on your side when it comes to making sustainable and lasting change that is beneficial to everyone involved. So keep being the wonderful you.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you so much for letting us highlight and spotlight your business. It was an honor to interview you and to be able to share your story. That is it from PDX Business Spotlight, and listeners, please be sure to join us in the next episode. Thank you for listening to PDX Business Spotlight by Youth Venture, and we hope to see you in the next episode.